Okay, in this sort of question where you're multiplying a number by a power of 10, the key thing to remember is the power of the 10. This is 10 to the power of 2. So that means that we're going to move these digits 2 places to the left by leaving the decimal point exactly where it is. So I'm going to leave the decimal point here, and I'll move this 3 digit 2 places to the left, and this 3 ends up here. And the same thing is going to happen for the 4 and the 1. So we have 4, 1, and this gap is 0. So our answer is 4,130. The way to multiply two numbers that are decimal values, what you do is you take the decimal points out and you multiply them as normal. So I'm going to assume that this is actually a 4 and this is a 6. 4 times 6 gives me 24. Now, what you do now is you go back to the original numbers, you count the number of digits after the decimal point. We have 1 here and we have 1 here. That's a total of 2. We have to make sure that in our answer there are 2 digits after the decimal point. Here are our 2 digits. The decimal point goes here. And you have to put a 0 here. So the answer is 0.24. Okay, when you're subtracting decimal numbers, make sure that you use the column subtraction method and you align them with the decimal points in the same place. So we have 5.2 and then we have 1.37 written like this. Okay, then you're taking away 7 away from nothing. Well, this was 0, and I'm going to borrow one number from here, so that gives me 10. That turns into 1, and then 10 take away 7 leaves me with 3. This is 1. You can't do 1 take away 3, so I'm going to borrow 1 off the 5 here. This becomes a 4, and that becomes 11 now. So 11 take away 3 leaves me with 8. The decimal point should be in the same place. I'm left with 4 take away 1, which is 3. So our answer is 3.83 rather. In this question, when you're dividing decimal numbers, what you want to do is actually divide the numbers without any decimal digits remaining in the question. So assuming that this is like a fraction where you have a number above another number, remember that when you multiply the numerator and the denominator by the same number, the value of the fraction doesn't actually change. I can actually get rid of both digits, both decimal points in both numbers here by multiplying by 100. If I times 46.2 by 100, I end up with 4620. And if I multiply 0.03 by 100, I end up with 3. I'm left with 4,620 divided by 3. So I just simply divide those two. 3 goes into 4 once. I'm left with 1. This is now 16. So 3 goes into 16 5 times. I'm left with a remainder of 1. 3 goes into 12 4 times. And I put my 0 here. And the answer is 1,540. That's your answer. Okay, have a go at these 4 questions. Be careful with the decimal points. Solutions will appear very shortly.